On April 8th, daytime will turn to darkness as a total solar eclipse casts a shadow over the Henderson State University campus, and much of America for that matter. Hello, I'm Steve Fellers, and this is a special podcast featuring the upcoming eclipse. I'm joined today by Dr. Shannon Clardy, professor of engineering and physics at Henderson, and she's going to share her expertise on this upcoming phenomenon. Welcome, Dr. Clardy.
Thanks. I'm happy to be here.
So we have a big event coming up, and eclipses are not that rare, but what's so special about this one that has everyone so excited?
So the last total solar eclipse that went over Arkansas occurred in 1918. We've had partial eclipses since then. So we had a partial eclipse this last fall, and we had a partial eclipse in 2017. But in this particular eclipse, the moon will completely cover the sun. So we'll see the shadow of the moon on the earth. It will make our daytime look like night for 2 minutes and 1 second here.
So exactly how dark will it get?
It'll be dark enough that we should be able to see stars and planets during the daytime. So we have stars up in the sky right now, but the sun is so bright that it washes out the light of the stars. And so when the sun is covered up, you can actually see the stars that are present in the sky during the daytime hours.
So how long will it last? I know it starts, it'll just kind of gradually increase, and then it'll peak, and then it'll kind of fade away. What's that whole duration?
So we start with first contact around 12:30, and that is when the moon touches the edge of the sun. At 1:49, we'll be in totality. That's when totality will begin here. And so that's when it will be dark. It'll be dark for 2 minutes and just over 1 second. And the whole thing will be finished around 3:30 when the moon moves off of the sun.
Let's get a little bit more technical and maybe explain what exactly is a solar eclipse.
So for a solar eclipse, we have the Earth, and then we have the moon, and then we have the sun, and they're all in a line. So when the moon passes in front of the sun, it blocks out the sun's light. It's kind of like if you took a quarter and you held it up in front of your friend's face, you can cover your friend's face, even though that quarter is much smaller than their face. The angular size is the same. So the moon will be the same angular size as the sun. Every month, the moon passes between the Earth and the sun, but because the moon is on an orbit that's slightly inclined, it doesn't always pass in front of the sun. So that makes solar eclipses relatively rare. The last one was 1918 here, so you can travel the world and see them in other places, but they're not that common.
So Henderson has several events planned for April 8th on the day of the eclipse. What have we got going on that day?
So leading up to the event on the 6th and the 7th, we'll have planetarium shows in the evening. So we'll have the planetarium open to the public, free shows. We'll be giving out solar glasses. On the 8th, starting at 12:30, we'll have a big festive family atmosphere at Carpenter Haygood Stadium. And we'll have telescopes set out so people can view the solar eclipse through the telescopes. We'll have some telescopes that have cell phone mounts so you could drop your cell phone in and take pictures. We'll be giving away 30,000 pairs of solar glasses. We'll be giving away 1,500 Eclipse t-shirts to the first people that come. There will be food trucks. There will be performances. It's going to be a great big party.
That's great. So there's safety precautions that people need to take, of course, and the glasses will help with that. But most of all, people do not need to look straight at it without any type of protection, right?
So these glasses, this particular design was designed by student Faith Ray, who is a Henderson art student. When you put these on, you can't see anything. They're better than welding goggles. And so you can only see the sun when you look directly at the sun. While we're in partial eclipse, so while the moon is moving over the sun, you'll need to wear solar glasses to protect your eyes. During the time of totality, you can actually take solar glasses off. People who want to take photographs during the eclipse are going to need some kind of filter over their camera during while the moon is moving into totality, because it can damage the CCD chips in cameras. So during totality is the only time that we can take those filters off and get a good look at what everything looks like.
How does a solar eclipse, how does it affect animals and insects and things? I have read that it kind of confuses them if it's in the middle of the day.
This is a fantastic opportunity for some citizen scientists to do experiments. Because we're going to have nighttime during the day for a very short period of time, we might see some nocturnal animals come awake. We may see the insects come out that usually come out around dusk. It's a great time to pay attention to the wildlife around us, particularly if you are outside of the city and away from lots of activity. So you may see some unusual things happening with the wildlife during the eclipse.
So how many people do you expect to actually show up in the Arkadelphia area on April the 8th?
We're not entirely sure. So we're not the center of the eclipse. The center will get more like 4 minutes. Conway, Hot Springs, they'll be in the middle of the shadow. We get 2 minutes in the eclipse. So we're still in totality, and I think that the traffic probably on I-30 is going to cause people to veer into destinations that might not have been their original intent. We recommend that people travel in advance to get to where they're going, and they plan on staying there until well after the eclipse because the highway is going to be very full of people. So we know that this is a great opportunity for our town to come out and enjoy the eclipse together. We will be inviting prospective students to come join us if they're not in the path of totality, or even if they are and they want to be at Henderson. We will be open to visitors, and so we have prepared with 30,000 pairs of solar glasses.
But we're not expecting 30,000 people, I assume.
I don't know. We'll see.
Okay. You had a student who designed the T-shirt.
Yeah, so this is the design that was submitted by Ash Coleman. It is a beautiful shirt design, and it has our Centurium on it, the Henderson logo, and it says the darkness is dazzling. On the front of the shirts, they say Eclipse over Arkadelphia, and they have the date and our time in totality, and then they say Henderson State University.
Okay. If anyone has any information or needs more information about what Henderson is doing on April 8th, who should they contact?
Well, we have a website at www.hsu.edu. I believe that it is /Eclipse.
That makes sense. Okay. Well, Dr. Clardy, I think that pretty much sums it up. It's going to be an exciting event. Look forward to it. And we certainly appreciate you doing this podcast with us. And we'll see how it goes.
Thanks for having me.
All right, sure thing.